Hello students, we are discussing about the water pollution and control, that is unit 4, and today our this is the last lecture of the water pollution. Before starting the class, I'm introducing myself. That is myself, already you know myself, Ananya Bormon, Department of Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry and JS College of Engineering. So today we will see that what is the importance of this chapter, that is the water pollution. So far we have seen the how day by day water is getting polluted, what are the water pollutant actually we have, how we can remove them. These are the all the topics that we have covered. Okay, now we will see, today we will see some of the new recent technology that we are using to prevent the water pollution and also to reduce the water scarcity, the problem which we are facing due to the water scarcity. Okay, so let's start the class. Okay, so this is our chapter name, that is water pollution and control. Unit is 4 as I told you, and lecture number is 10. This is the last lecture of this chapter. Okay, so the subject name is environmental studies and the subject code is BCAN102, that is BCAN 102. These are the some of the course objective that we have, that is you are able to understand the natural environment and relationships with the human activities. You will be able to apply the fundamental knowledge of science and engineering to assess the environmental and health risk. You will also able to understand the environmental laws and regulation to develop the guideline and procedures for health and safety issues, and at last you will be able to solve some of the scientific problems which is related to air, water, sound pollution, land pollution. Okay, all this. Now these are the some of the course outcome that we have for our course, that is environmental studies. That is our BCAN. Okay, so BCA. So to understand the natural environment and its relationship with human activities, also you can apply the fundamental knowledge of science and engineering to assess the environmental and health risks. You can also develop the guidelines and procedures for health and safety issues which is obeying the environmental laws and regulations, and also you can acquire the skills for scientific problem, which can solve the many problems which is related to air, water, land, noise. Okay, so all these are the course outcome. Okay, now today this is the objective of our today's class. Today we will see what are the new technology, what are the new innovations that we have to prevent our water pollution. Okay, yeah, so generally what will happen, why this is important, so important to prevent the water pollution. Actually, water, day by day the water is getting polluted. Okay, so in the last year we have seen in some of the states of the India that is facing the acute water scarcity problem. Okay, so why? Because of this water pollution, because of the over utilization of the water. So if we prevent this over utilization of water, if we prevent this water pollution and refine this water, and we can reuse this water, so our problem which is related to the water will be solved to some extent. Otherwise Water is very important ingredients for our life. So if we have water pollution or water scarcity, that will be that time we are having the sustainability problem. Okay, so that is why water pollution, to prevent the water pollution is very important nowadays. Okay, so all we are focusing about this, how to prevent the water pollution. So there are so many innovations, so many the technologies we can apply that can prevent the water pollution, that can prevent the water scarcity problem also. So first one is, that is Ericsson reveals award winning, this is the award winning broadband IoT smart vessel with China Mobile and Ocean Alpha. Okay, so this is the yeah, so this is our the instrument which can we can control the water pollution. Actually, what will happen, the use of this a broadband IoT smart, this is the IoT smart vessel, okay, which demonstrate the unnamed vessel operating remotely over a 4G network. This is through the broadband connection, so you can remote this, you can control this instrument from the remote. Okay, now showcase as a part of Ericsson Evolve Cellular IoT solution. The smart vessel harnesses the increased capacity and lower latency of forthcoming network to perform operations in almost real time. Okay, so following the predefined GPS routes, the vessel operates autonomously, collecting the all type of water waste material, water quality monitoring data, and identifying the cause of the pollutant with HD cameras and taking the necessary measures to address these pollutants. Okay, so with this remote controlled apparatus, remote controlled machine, that we can it can provide all the data related to the water pollution. And also after that we can take the measures. The smart vessel can be remotely steered to desert location in a pollution or accident area for close monitoring and takes necessary action necessary action to overcome the pollutants. So if we have some of the accident, but if we know that this area is for this area the water pollutants are in high amount, so it can we can use this instrument, we can use this machine to collect the data, different type of data. What are the types of pollutant we have into the water, how we can remove, after that we can know how we can remove that pollutants. Okay, so this is called the IoT smart vessel. Okay, yeah, next is, that is using AI, artificial intelligence, robotics to solve the water woes. Okay, now what will happen, yeah, the using artificial intelligence AI and robots, Oshim Valero and Nidhi Jain have been instrumental in diverting the 600 mld, that is million liters a day. Okay, 600 million liters a day of raw sewage from entering water bodies, and the prevented over 5,600 hours of manual scavenging. Okay, so it is a robot that can map and inspect underground pipelines. The collected data identify structural defects, operations and maintenance failure modes that makes it easier to fix the problem. Okay, so this is the AI robotics which also we can use to prevent the water pollution. It can detect where we have the in pipeline, where actually we have the problem. Okay, so this is called AI robotics. Okay, yeah. Next, we have the cleaner air. So this instrument, actually this is an instrument which can use to remove the pollutant from the water body. We might not having much success pulling trash out of the ocean yet, but Baltimore is already doing the next best thing. So cleaner air, generally we have this instrument into the in the Baltimore. Okay, so the cities they humorously named Mr. Trashville. This is called Trashville. Okay, which can remove litter and debris from the local harbor, preventing it from making its way into the Atlantic. Okay, so thus this cleaner air or trash will can prevent, can collect the water, collect all type of the pollutants, and it will prevent to mix the pollutant with the water body. So this is the new invention. Next, we will move to the next innovation, that is the world's first ocean cleanup system. You can see this is the ocean cleanup system. Can you imagine? So so through this pipeline, what will happen? The novel device has been described as a giant Pac-Man. Okay, and because it literally gobbled up and plastic and debris as it travels. Okay, so yeah, so what will happen, this can clean, this can take out all the pollutants from the ocean, and can clean the ocean, the whole ocean. Okay, so that is why it's called the gigantic, described as the giant Pac-Man, because it literally gobbled up the plastic and debris at its travel. So while it is moving, so at its path, whatever plastic, whatever debris it have, so it can take out from the ocean. Okay, so this is called world first ocean cleaner. Yeah, it is now headed for the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, where an estimated 1.8 trillion, you can imagine, 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic debris have accumulated. We wish it luck and cannot wait to see our ocean cleaner. So, actually, what will happen? The plastic is non-biodegradable material. So always we have to, we should recycle the plastic materials, or we should reduce the use of the plastic materials. So this all these plastics are the polluting the water, because every day whatever we are using, that is made of polymers. Okay, so we have to use this plastic materials or non-biodegradable materials again and again, reuse. We have to reuse, we have to reduce the use of the non-biodegradable material. Otherwise, if we are not aware right now, so it will be very harmful for us and for our sustainability also. Yeah, this is the eco 6 pack drinks. Okay, eco 6 packs. So you can see this is the eco-friendly, these cans are the eco-friendly. Okay, saltwater brewery invented this ingenious 6-pack ring that is edible by marine mammals to reduce our plastic waste. Exactly, this can instead of making the cans for of the plastic materials, this we can use, as this is the edible by the marine mammals, to reduce the plastic material. So this is also another type of invention that we have, that is eco six pack ring. Okay. Yeah, this is called hydro H2 Pro. Okay, so H2 Pro, what is this material? That is, around the world, many of the 783 billion people who don't have the clean drinking water. Again, we have the water scarcity problem. Okay, so also they don't have access to electricity also. A new design from an Australian high school student aims to solve the both problems at once. While the device purifies the wastewater, it also uses the pollutant to generate the electricity. Okay, for the separate compartment. In a separate compartment, it can produce the power. Okay, so this instrument can purify the water, as well as this instrument, with the help of that waste material, it can generate the power. So this is called H2 Pro machine. Okay, this is also one type of innovative technology that we can use to clean the water. Okay, next is, that is MIT. MIT's electrochemical water purification method. Okay. Generally, these apparatus can remove very dilute concentration. If in our water very minimum amount of waste materials are there, that can be removed by this MIT's electrochemical water purification method. Actually, what will happen when it comes to removing very dilute concentrations of pollutants from water, and existing separation methods, which is tend to be energy and chemical intensive. Okay, now a new method that is developed at MIT could provide a selective alternative for removing even extremely low level of unwanted compound. Generally, these apparatus we can use while we have in our water, while we have very less amount of undesired products, undesired compounds, and that can detected, that very low amount, less amount can be detected by this instrument and also can be removed. So this is called MIT's electrochemical water purification method, that is electrochemical water purification method. Okay. Yeah, the new approach is described in the journal Energy and Environmental Science in a paper by MIT postdoc Xiao Su and Ralph Ladon, professor of chemical engineering T. Alan Hatton, and the five others at the MIT at the Technical University of Darmstadt in Germany. Okay, so they actually invented this type of electrochemical apparatus, which can prevent, which can remove, which can detect the very less amount. If in our water we have very few, very less amount of the pollutant, that can be also detected by this machine and also purified by this machine. Okay, so again this is the sixth pack. Okay, so these are the some of the, yeah, so this is the water scarcity. This is the whatever I'm telling you, this is the scenario, the present scenario. Okay, this is the water scarcity and present scenario. So if we are not aware right now, then it will be very harmful for us, for our sustainability. So that's why we have to prevent the overutilization of water, first thing. Second thing, we have to reuse the water. Okay, and also we have to reduce the pollution, the water pollution. Okay, so we have to manage the solid waste, manage the plastic waste, manage the e-waste, so that the water is the water pollution can be reduced. Okay, so these are the some of the topics that you have in your water chapter. Now some of the questions, now I will discuss some of the questions that is very important from this chapter, and that is very frequently coming in your exam from this chapter. Like, first of all, what do you mean by hydrological cycle? Hydrological cycle, that means we have generally the 5 steps of the hydrological cycle. That is what are the 5 steps? One is evaporation transpiration, second process is cloud formation, third one is the condensation, fourth one is the precipitation, and the fifth step is the runoff process. So from this portion you can have this type of question, like discuss about the significance of the hydrological cycle. Next we have the classification of water pollutants. So from this you can have this type of question, discuss about the water pollutants. Okay, so there we know already there are 5 types of water pollutants that we have. One is organic pollutant, one is inorganic pollutant, third one is the suspended solids, fourth one is radioactive pollutant, and the fifth one is the thermal pollutant. Okay, organic pollutant like cellulose, dry leaves, kitchen waste. Okay, inorganic pollutant generally the inorganic compounds, all type of inorganic compounds. Okay, the suspended solid means like dust particles, soil particles, radioactive element like they are actually discharging from the nuclear power plant, and like uranium, the radium, thorium, plutonium. Okay, so they are all the radioactive elements, and while they are discharging into the water, that is called by the radioactive pollutant. And the thermal pollutant, the example of the thermal pollutant is hot water. Generally what will happen in industry, in factory, we are circulating the cold water through the machine so that the machine can be cool down. Okay, so while this hot water the mixing will mix to the other water body, the temperature will increase. That for that the dissolved oxygen will be evaporated, and which is very harmful for the other aquatic life. So this is the this is these are the thermal pollutants. Next, we have discussed about the water quality parameters. There are 2 types of water quality parameters. One is physical, one is chemical. So, in the physical parameters, we have the taste or the color. Okay, so TDS. TDS means total dissolved solid. That means all type of salts are dissolving into the water, and that is giving us the TDS value, right? For the drinking water, we should have the less than 500 milligram per liter TDS value. Okay, and the chemical parameters like BOD, like COD, these are pH, these are all the hardness, these are all the chemical parameters. Okay, now we have discussed the BOD. We have in the previous classes, BOD and COD is very important. BOD means the required amount of dissolved oxygen to decompose the biodegradable waste materials that is present into the water. And COD means like if we have the biodegradable and non-biodegradable both materials, what will happen? So in presence of strong oxidizing agent, that will decompose into carbon dioxide and water. So for their decomposition, whatever oxygen we require, that is called by the COD. Now COD is always greater than the BOD, because in COD we have to decompose the both materials. Okay, now we have determined the BOD of a given water sample, and also we have solved some of the problem, which is also very important. Okay, the problems, you have to practice the problems properly. And next we have seen the biochemical effects of the heavy metals. These are like arsenic, cadmium, lead, mercury. These are the some of the heavy metals that are the mixing to the water body from the industry, from the excessive amount. If factory will discharge the excessive amount into the water, that will pollute the water. Okay, so this, in presence of this arsenic, cadmium, mercury, what are the biochemical effects we may have? This is also we have discussed. So from this portion we may have this type of question, discuss about the biochemical effects of arsenic, discuss about the biochemical effects of cadmium, mercury or lead. Okay, so these are the some of the questions that you may have from this heavy metals. And the lastly we have seen the wastewater treatment. So what are the steps of wastewater treatment? Next, what is the significance of primary treatment, what is the significance of secondary treatment, what is the significance of tertiary treatment. Now what are the next question you may have, what are the steps of primary treatment that we have? That we have generally primary treatment means we are we're removing the large particles like dust, soil, okay, sand particles, and also we will remove in this step the microorganisms. Okay, and the secondary treatment, in secondary treatment we generally remove the biodegradable waste materials whatever we have in the water. And tertiary, for the secondary treatment we can use a trickling filter, or we can use a rotating biological contractor, or we can use the activated sludge process. Now this sludge process, why this is termed as activated? Because whatever the undesired precipitation we will get after processing, we can use that sludge into the fertilizers. We can use that sludge as a fertilizer in the agricultural field. That is why this is called activated sludge process. Okay, so these are all about the secondary process. And excuse me, in the tertiary treatment, this is the last or final step, and this is tertiary or advanced step. Generally we use the activated charcoal. Activated charcoal, what happened if we like, this is like a sponge. If we use the sponge and keep it into the water, what will happen? It will it will absorb all the water molecules. Here also, as there are so many air gaps we have in the sponge, so while the water molecule will enter, it will remove the air molecules and it will enter into the sponge. Here also activated charcoal, for the activated charcoal there are so many air gaps we have, the porous, okay, porosity we have, so that porous site, what will happen, that porous site will absorb all type of remaining materials, and thus by the tertiary treatment we can remove the all materials. Okay, remove the remaining particles. So this is the last step of the wastewater treatment. And one more thing, in the primary treatment also we remove the microorganisms. How? By using the chlorine or by using the ozone treatment. So ozone treatment is expensive. Generally what will happen, we use the chlorine, the bleaching powder. Okay, so what will happen, the chlorine will react with the water, it will form the HOCl. After HCl formation of the hypochlorous acid, after that it will dissociate into HCl and nascent oxygen. These nascent oxygen is very important to kill the germs. Okay. Now for the ozone treatment also, what will happen, ozone will be dissociated into oxygen and nascent oxygen again, so that after production of this nascent oxygen, that nascent oxygen can kill the germs. So this is all about the primary treatment and all about the disinfection procedure. Okay. So from this portion you can have this type of question, like discuss about the primary treatment. Okay. Discuss about the working principle of trickling filter. Discuss about the working principle of rotating biological contractor, or discuss about the activity sludge process. Also you may have this type of question, activity sludge process is the most economic way for the secondary treatment, explain why. So these are the some of the questions that you may have in this portion. So this is all about this water pollution chapter. Okay. So students, so we have discussed today whatever the innovations that we have for to prevent the water pollution, to prevent the problems that is that we are facing due to the water scarcity. Okay. So and also we have discussed some of the questions. So please follow the classes and do the assignment and submit it in time. So thank you students, and see you in the next class.